Good morning, everyone. Welcome to today's 1 Million by 1 Million Strategy Roundtable for Entrepreneurs. This is our public roundtable. As you know, we have both public and private roundtables, and this is our 153rd session. Very recently, we celebrated our 150th, and we have actually launched a New Year Challenge contest to celebrate that milestone, the 1M1M New Year Challenge 2013, which we encourage you to apply for if you're interested. The contest is going to be awarding 12 scholarships to the 1M1M program, $1,000 value each, and 20 finalists will be pitching at roundtables on January 10th and 17th. So those are the two finals. In each final, we'll have 10 finalists pitching, and 6 scholarships will be awarded in each session. And to apply, you're going to have to go to the link here, which Maureen will put in the public chat as well so that you can click through. Now, you are going to need to submit your applications by December 20th, at which point we will start the voting round. So the finalists will be selected by the audience. So you are going to have to drum up your community, your supporters, your friends, family, colleagues, fellow entrepreneurs to vote you up to the finals. So it should be fun. Check it out. And we have already lots of applications. So we are working through, of course, a lot of them are incomplete applications. I'm assuming that people are just taking their time and procrastinating, or maybe just fine-tuning their pitches to finish their applications. But by December 20th, you do need to submit finished applications to qualify onto the voting round. Now, this event is being recorded, and if you are live tweeting the show, please use hashtag 1M1M. And if you're following us, our two handles are at 1M by 1M, and my handle is at Sramana. You're welcome to follow us. We maintain a very, very active Twitter channel. And if you want to subscribe to our YouTube channel, that would be youtube.com/user/1M1M Roundtables. All the roundtable recordings are available on YouTube. Plus, we have a lot of other kinds of videos, including cartoons and, interesting little nuggets and so on and so forth. So check it out. And we are going to start today's session with Raul Juarez from bwigs.com. That's a company from Cordoba, Argentina. All right.
Hello. Good morning, everyone. It's really exciting for me to be here. I'm going to present you just a little bit about what is bwigs.com. It's a startup that was founded in 2012 from an idea that my brother, one of the co-founders, Juan Pablo, in this case, who came from the marketing industry, came one day saying, I got this problem because I was searching for a vacation place because I'm so tired, so stressed. I can't find what I need because I have this feeling that I have inside of me because I feel stressed, and I can't just match this with a proper place. As my side, that is the technical side, I'm teaching at the university also on the artificial intelligence department on the university. So he said, can you program something like that probably should help us to match what we are looking, in terms of the feelings, the emotions, or something like that. Let me just wrote a concept test. And we came out with a concept test, and turns out that it's possible to do that. So we decided to start working and growing the idea of the site that lets the user do this. So basically, in 2012, we start with the company, with the site. We are the only 2 members of the company, and we have 2 advisors. If you see the next slide, we have the concept of the company, of the idea, basically, that it's a travel service, basically the use of sensation of the emotion, or the emotions and the feelings that the people has to perform a search that will be matched with a place, and those places will bring, in this case, and we have so far, hotels. In the future, we are planning to add car rentals or things to do or restaurants or anything you like to have on your next travel. So basically, we use the key factor of the emotions, putting that on the decision-making process, because we believe that the emotions affect everything that we are doing in our daily stuff. So basically, it's an engine that lets you do things. And in this case, it's with your travel or your vacations, your business travel or your leisure travel. How we do that? Okay, we decided to mix some artificial intelligence techniques and some strong coding things using databases, and we create something that is called the POF algorithm, or the point of interest of feeling, sorry, not point of interest, point of feeling algorithm. And we also add this supported with crowdsourcing. So basically, uses a statistical model that is trained by the use of the people. So if we have a huge group of people using and expressing their experiences and feelings inside of the site, is going to help the algorithm to be more accurate on the search the results that you're going to have. So basically, it's a mix of artificial intelligence and databases and statistical stuff inside of the engine. On the next slide, we have well, I always was pretty criticizing my brother when he came up with an idea of a .com company. My brother is always an enthusiastic about the idea of getting our own startup. So he came up with ideas, and he said, I got this idea. And I always challenge him with, okay, but what is the business model for this idea? Oh, man, I don't know, he said. So in this case, he came out with a whole new idea with a business model inside. So I said, okay, challenge accepted, challenge, you know, you're completing your challenge. So we decided to get this idea with a proposition for the customers and about a value that we can introduce for them. We are not only serving good travel results on the using your feelings, but also we are trying to offer you good deals on that. So you use your feelings to search something.
Raul, I think we've got that you're trying to do an emotion and feeling-based travel search engine. Let me dig a little bit. I happen to know quite a bit about artificial intelligence. As you know, I'm a computer scientist, and I've actually designed a couple of artificial intelligence products. So this is an area that I have a lot of understanding of.
Yes, I know.
So, so help me understand, or help us all understand. Maybe there are other people in there in the room who have experience in computer science, in artificial intelligence actually. Where exactly? How do you see this flowing, you know, in terms of where is the, how are you going to characterize the hotels? How are you going to characterize the customer? And what kind of, is it a clustering-based algorithm? What kind of an algorithm are you thinking about?
Well, what we are using, well, I'm specialized on rule-based systems on the artificial intelligence area. So what I was doing and applying here was applying some techniques for rule engine, you know, with an inference engine inside of the code, using some.
What are the? Let me switch the question. What kinds of feelings are you tracking?
I'm sorry.
What kinds of feelings are you tracking? You understand
Can you repeat the last part? I didn't hear your question. After what I said about the rule engine, I couldn't hear you because I got a cut on the audio.
Okay, I was asking what kinds of feelings are you going to track? Give me some examples. Give me a use case of what is a feeling that, you know, let's say I go to a hotel and I'm going to characterize this hotel. What kinds of feelings are you track? What kinds of feelings do I have in the menu to categorize that hotel on?
Yeah, interesting question. Well, we have some stuff that I learned from the non-revenue experience that I have from my last job, that one thing that I learned there is that the hotels are emotionally attached. The hotels they are not handling the concept of feeling, because you only use the hotel for staying. So what we are trying to do is looking for the feeling side of the thing. Basically, what we are doing is, for example, if you enter, I want to feel the adrenaline in the mountains, and you go search, it will bring you the match with some mountain places in the world, all around the world, and after it collects all the places in the world, it will matches those places with hotels according to the services that we are attaching using APIs. For example, the API that Expedia.com provides us, we serve that matching the places that we have with their content hotels. And basically, that's the whole thing that the engine does. But for example, you said, I want to get in touch with emotions and romance with my wife, and we can bring you some places that romance, it's the key factor. I don't know, Paris, some place in Europe, some place on the beach, and after you got all the places, it will bring you all the hotels on that place. So basically, the algorithm is centered.
You should take a look at some of the competitive analysis that needs to go into this. There have been attempts at doing this, and I think one of the conclusions that a lot of the companies who were experimenting with this, and there is one in particular that comes to my mind, and I can't remember the name of the company off the top of my head right now, but it was a Silicon Valley company that tried to do exactly this, and it works marginally because I don't think people search like that. And part of the issue with search is that unless you capture people's regular search behavior, you're not going to get them to use your engine. So I think the conclusion that they came to, or at least the industry has come to, is that people don't search in terms of, adrenaline generating mountainous places, or they don't search in terms of romantic places. They search, when I'm planning a trip, I would plan a trip to Turkey, or I would plan a trip to Argentina, and then I would start drilling down into what I want to do in Argentina. My passion happens to be Argentine tango, so if I'm coming to Argentina, I know exactly what I'm going to look for. So
yeah.
I think that's one thing that you have to keep in mind. That maybe you can attach these other parameters as secondary parameters, but it cannot be your primary user interface. I think
basically we launch
defining the user experience.
Yeah, actually, about this that you are telling me, it's a thing that we are experiencing, because we decided to launch the site 15 days ago, just a beta version, and we are, we are not doing any publicity or marketing moves, and we are just sending some emails to some trustable databases, and we are getting some feedback. And also we are tracking all the things that the people are entering as a query. And the people actually, 6% of the people is using the search engine as a regular search engine like Google. And one of my friends said, but, the idea is pretty cool, but I'm using this just like Google. I'm going to use this just like Google, and I'm going to Google it directly. I don't need you as a part of the process. And I said, okay, I know, and you're right, but specifically, can you search that in the same way, for example, using the verb, trying to express an emotion on Google, and see what happens, and compare with our search engine and see what happens. And he noticed the difference, but he already told me that you are telling me, that the people, we have to do some sort of education for the people that trying to change a little bit the way.
How you design the user interface is going to drive the behavior. I think you need to make some assumption that you're going to, people are coming to the site with understanding of where they're planning to go. If I'm planning to go to Argentina, I want to search on experiences in Argentina. Now, once I make that decision, you can help me define what are some of the experiences that I want to, you can characterize the experiences in Argentina and help me, define which hotels that I want to stay in and what kinds of things that I want to do. That is okay, but if you go at a high level and try to do this global, kind of categorization of different places by different feelings, I don't think that's going to work.
Okay, yeah, I think it's pretty valuable what you're saying. And, maybe because I'm I don't know if I'm contaminated, but, from my last experience working with the guys from the non-revenue industry, just in case that you don't know, the non-revenue people is the guys, for example, that works on an airline. These guys travel all around the world for nothing, mostly, because they got big discounts on their ticket travel. So they can book a ticket to New York from Hong Kong for, I don't know, $50. And so these people travel all around the world almost for free. So these guys just put their finger on the map and say, okay, tomorrow we are going to Hong Kong, tomorrow we're going to, I don't know, South Africa.
That's not how most of the world travels, and that's not where...
Probably, I'm taking the assumption of the people that probably got that experience. And so this guy can travel all around the world saying, okay, I just want to feel relaxed. And they put relax and say, okay, relax. The relax is on the beach on, I don't know, Plaza del Carmen in Mexico. And they take a plane and they go there, But probably we should work with the things that you are saying about working on the experience and drill down, taking that from there and not just a general stuff,
Yeah, and I think people, I'll tell you, we are avid travelers. We love to travel, and there are lots of decision factors that we take into account when we are planning trips. I'm originally from India, so I have to, at least at a reasonable frequency, I have to go to India, both for business reasons as well as for family reasons. My husband is Belgian, so we have to go to Europe all the time. Plus, he's on the board of a British media company, so he has to go to London all the time. So we often kind of try to coordinate stuff so that there is some travel already. If you're going to London anyway, then we would try to go somewhere. Maybe I would be looking for experiences within England, within UK or Scotland or Ireland. I may be looking for experiences. Maybe we want to take the train to Paris and looking for experiences in Paris, but then I would be looking for experiences in that area. Now, if I have a completely unconstrained situation, or like this summer we had to go for a wedding to Turkey. So the wedding was in Bodrum in Turkey. We needed to figure out what else we want to do in Turkey. So, when I had a conference that I was giving the keynote at in Kerala, so we wanted to figure out what we wanted to do in Kerala and India. So there's, our travel has lots of different constraint factors. But if you can then help me figure out what we want to do within those constraint factors, then you can actually come up with interesting things and cut down how much time or how much research I have to make, in determining which hotel to stay in and stuff like that. Yeah. So I think, my suggestion would be if you try to do an unconstrained search based on emotions, that's not going to work. But if you create a good user experience where you are able to put certain constraints and then drill down from there into the emotions and into the psychographic, because we have a very, very specific way of traveling. And if you can, kind of apply AI algorithms on top of our travel algorithm or our travel preferences or travel habits, and then optimize the itinerary for us and recommend stuff to do within those constraints, that would be awesome. I would use your system.
Yeah, I know. Something like, taking your profile and deliver you some context information that helps you to improve your experience on each travel. And it's going to be, exponential, because every travel is going to fit our engine, and the engine will feel more comfortable to deliver the information that you need also, or even without asking you. It's not to say, okay, I got this suggestion just for you.
Today, this is one thing that is actually lacking. The kind of experience of being able to constrain the search engine by style of travel and by style of experience that you're looking for, and then finding hotel recommendations accordingly. And I'll tell you, I have like a set of different places where I go to look for recommendations. Like there's a French travel guide called Guide du Hôtel that we use a lot for recommendations. They are, they're very eclectic. They don't necessarily go for the most expensive hotels, but the hotels have great, interesting experiences attached to them. Then we use a site called Kiwi Collection that has interesting, at least some degree, interesting experiences. There's a travel agency in London called Mahout.com that covers certain areas. These guys have Mahout Travels, I think. These guys have, they suggest experiences that are to my taste. So this is very specific, and you kind of, if you can characterize a bunch of hotels with such, very specific kinds of recommendations that you can cater to a certain eclectic set of travel, travelers, I think that would be interesting, but your design of the algorithm or the user experience is not quite there yet. I'm just talking to you, I can feel that you don't have it yet.
Well, the algorithm, it's continually, we are working every day on that because it came out with an idea, and we decided to launch this and see what kind of, speaking about feelings, what feelings do we have from the audience and the suggestions. And we receive a lot of suggestions of people that say, okay, this place, particularly in the world, I can relate it with these feelings. So those suggestions help us to improve our algorithm. But like I said before, we are always changing and adding stuff. So this is pretty much as a validation of the things that we are doing, and the things that you are telling us are pretty valuable for us. Because we are seeing things that we are not seeing before. So for us, it's a tremendous addition for us.
And also, Raul, remember, what you need to characterize is what you are going to eventually monetize. So you're going to need to characterize the hotels, not so much the place. I think the whole world knows Paris is a romantic place. I don't think you need to, or you or your algorithm need to determine that Paris is a romantic place. But within Paris, there are different kinds of hotels, and I think there are, if you really get down to how to characterize the hotels in Paris, you will see the taxonomy is going to be very different from what you're thinking about right now.
Yeah. With that, you are right, because you can say, okay, this is the particular romantic hotel in Paris. We know that Paris is a romantic place, but this is the most romantic experience in the whole Paris for your next travel. So it's pretty much different that we are offering now, right?
Raul, but also remember that it's not so much the different grades of romanticism that determines the experience. Like, for example, what is your idea of romance? My idea of romance and your idea of romance may be very different, right? My idea of romance has to do with going to Musée d'Orsay in Paris and having lunch there at the cafe. That may not be somebody else's idea of romance. Somebody else's idea of romance may be, going to Hawaii and lying on the beach.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, speaking of that, it's also one thing that my brother put on the table. It says that probably we are speaking in general, or using a generalization about what is romance, or what is about feeling the adrenaline. Because, if you are talking, for example, about feeling the adrenaline, some people think that feeling adrenaline is going skiing. Other people say that's going surfing. Some people say skydiving, or I don't know. Other people say watching a soccer match. All right, well, tango also, you know, because if you're not used to dance, it probably should be an extreme experience, at least from my side.
Even if you're used to dance, I don't know if you dance tango or not. Tango is a highly cylinder-driven experience.
No, I don't dance. I actually have two left legs. I can't dance.
Besides the point, what I'm saying is I think the dimension that you're missing from your algorithm, or from how you're designing the algorithm, is the personalization element.
Yeah.
You need a definition of whether it's romance or adventure or whatever. You need a personalized definition of romance, a personalized definition of adventure, you know, a personalized definition of whatever other are your core, you know, categories, taxonomy drivers, and then you need to kind of go down from there and determine, like, you know, another example, I love theater. When I go to London, my primary activity actually is going to the theater.
Right.
How are you going to, how are you going to categorize that?
Yeah, that's pretty hard one. Oh Jesus, I'm gonna have to sit down but I think this is a tremendous value for us in terms of about the things that we can improve in here. So yeah, absolutely.
I know what you're trying to do. I like what you're trying to do. I would love to help you more, but you really have a lot more thinking through to do with this, with designing this thing. But if you can design something compelling, this is an area that is still wide open, I think. Personalized travel
absolutely.
Wide open.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why I took the concept idea that my brother brought. He's, you know, in my head this whole 2012, the whole year, thinking about how we can do that, and I was doing some serious research about the, you know, the bringing the most personal or, you know, experience for your next travel. So, well, like you said, we have a lot of things to think, and I think we are on the road, but we have to keep growing the thing.
Yes, that's right. Well, good luck.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, Mark, you're up next.
Hi, Sramana. My turn?
Yeah, your turn.
Okay, cool. Well, first of all, thank you so much for being on the show. This is my very first investor presentation, so I'm both excited and trepidatious here.
This is not an investor presentation.
What do you call it?
It's a strategic session.
Got it. It's a strategy session, but I think the goal for me is to fine-tune what will eventually become an investor presentation, and as such, I'm looking forward to your feedback and sort of the feedback of the people on the call as well.
Okay.
So, we've been, WP Academy is the company, WPacademy.com. We've been doing this, we've been around for about 3 years. We're an active company. Year-to-date, revenue 133,000. Most of the year, it's just been me and my Philippine support guy and a couple of part-time teachers. So we're really ramping up right now, as I'll talk about in a moment. We provide live training and support for WordPress web design and web marketing technologies. Anyone, small business, self-employed, virtual assistants, social media consultant, anyone who wants to learn to build a professional WordPress website for business purposes. All of our training is done remotely via GoToMeeting. And, we're switching to a new model that is we're going to be primarily a digital content publisher. And this is where we're seeking funds for expansion. So if you want to turn the slide there, Sramana.
How many customers do you have?
I think there's been about 300 people that have taken the course, and there's about 120 hosting customers at the moment. We've sold about in addition, we sold about 250 to WP Encyclopedia, so probably 700-800 customers.
And what? Okay, so I'll let you go with your presentation and then ask questions. Go ahead.
Sure. I'll be quick because I want to make sure that I can get your opinion about this. So here's the situation with WordPress. WordPress is huge. Its power is 22% of the web right now, and half of new business sites, new small business sites, are done in WordPress. And the problem is that it's quite, the platform itself is not that complicated to learn, and there's lots of free training. But to do anything useful with it, meaning, to actually build a website that's going to get leads and convert and sell stuff, you have to interface it with a whole range of technology from newsletters and social media and SEO. And you also have to understand commercial themes and commercial plugins. And it's really, it gets very complex. And people are sort of completely confused and paralyzed by this in many cases. And a lot of them are, lots of people are learning from YouTube, which is a time suck, as you probably know. In fact, there's many companies, there's several companies that do software training right now that are extremely successful. Online video training is a huge growth area. Lynda.com grossed $70 million last year from online video training, precisely because people are looking for, comprehensive professional training. And no one's doing this right now. No one's doing the sort of a complete web marketing training program that includes WordPress other than us.
That includes WordPress, or WordPress at the center of it?
It's WordPress at the center of that, but everyone else is doing WordPress training too, but no one does sort of the comprehensive mix of add-on technologies that you're going to use with WordPress for business.
So I'll just give you a little bit of my observation here of what you're saying. I think there is a ton of technology, ton of stuff on the web, on online marketing, internet marketing, search engine optimization, e-commerce kind of stuff, email marketing, blah, blah, blah. I think perhaps, and I don't know this for a fact, you're telling me that is the case, that everything related to WordPress, perhaps there isn't.
Not in a single place, Sramana. Sort of our claim to fame is that we bring all of this into a single, curated and professional training where we can guide people step by step in 15 or 20 hours to complete technology review and professional skill development of web marketing technologies.
And how do you differentiate? How do people choose? If and I'm just asking this question because when markets are that crowded, consumers or potential customers have a very, very hard time determining where to go. How do you convince them that you are the great, credible player and all the rest are crap?
Well, that's exactly the question, Sramana, and by giving them an immediate experience of obvious quality, which is what we're trying to do. So let me kind of continue to the product summary there, and then we'll continue this track here. Great, thanks. Okay, so like I say, we have revenues, we have customers. 75% of our income so far has been live courses, and we're switching to the primarily digital content publishing model through these new products. It's called the WP Encyclopedia. That, if you want to switch slides there. Basically, here's our product lineup right now. WP Encyclopedia, the Encyclopedia of Web Marketing with WordPress, 190 topics, index hyperlink. I've already sold, it says 25, but it's actually $30,000 of the beta product. And
what do you charge for it?
It's $100 to $150. And that does include at the moment lifetime membership. We're using this as basically to raise funds, but normally it's going to be $25 a month, which is what everyone else is doing. Okay. Okay. Then we have the WP Live is the sort of the premium version of this, and that actually includes live support. They can actually come to coaching groups that are run by our experts, so they just join a meeting and they raise their hand, and the instructor can guide them. And this is this is something that they really like because people need one-on-one assistance in many of these topics.
And how many do you have in this category?
Well, this is the previous WordPress for Business people. So there's been about 250, 300 people who've gone through this program, but we've just started the subscription for this, so we don't have that many yet in the subscriber category. Okay. We just finished the course, and normally we were just doing these courses one after another, and we've decided we want to switch to a continuity type model. We got two cutting-edge software products as well. and we do manage WordPress hosting at very competitive prices compared to the competition. So that's our products right now. If you want to switch slide there.
And what do these software products do?
Well, one is allows you to migrate and copy WordPress websites from one hosted domain to another, and another provides very, secure video streaming that is very difficult to download the video, and it also is very advantageous for longer videos. It implements a technology called RTMP video streaming.
You have products that are your original products?
Yeah.
And are they selling?
They're selling a little bit. I mean, I probably sold 2,000 to 3,000 of each.
So do you market that carefully, or I mean, is this something that you market active, or your focus is more on the learning stuff?
It's a side business. It's hard to pay salaries on a $50 software product unless you sell millions of it, and we're not there yet.
Okay.
Okay, so this is a new product. It's essentially it's a help manual. It's a simple help manual. Really, it's got expanding, collapsing table of contents, hyperlinked, but it covers WordPress web design and all topics related to WordPress and web marketing. We're going to sell it on a subscription basis, but one of the uniqueness is that we actually have designed a Windows app. It's going to be called the WP Encyclopedia Desktop Edition, and it's going to book. Well, first of all, I'll have the beta released in early January, and it's going to go to book plus DVD sometime next summer. We're in conversations with Wiley at the moment, just starting these conversations. So this is a unique product. By the way, there's no one else provides a help manual style documentation for WordPress web design and associated technologies. Okay, so we're at a sort of a rapid growth stage right now. I hired I hired a VP marketing who's also a brand consultant, and he did a major website. So we have a world-class website in brand, WPAcademy.com as well, that just came on last week, really.
And this is what the site looks like?
That's what the site looks like. You can go check it out at WPAcademy.com.
Can I give you some feedback without offending you?
Please.
It's an extremely cluttered site.
These are the 2 pages. So it's sort of you have to see that you understand the one on the left is the front page.
Okay.
And then if you scroll down, you see. I just wanted to get you a visual sense of what the home page looks like.
So the one on the left is the home page, and then the next page is this is the second page. The one on the right.
That's the lower part of the home page. So the front page is very clear. WordPress web publishing, the world's new standard. WP Academy, the world's best WordPress training, and we're calling the site WordPress Revolution. We try to get to the feeling level in terms of really WordPress is a revolutionary web publishing platform, and it's very, very fun to use, and people are very excited to learn this technology.
I'm not convinced about this site design, but I'll let you keep going. Go ahead.
Okay, sure. We're happy to get feedback. We've gotten a lot of great feedback about that site so far. Okay, current marketing. Most of our business has been built through an affiliate relationship with this very large LinkedIn social media group. Half of our sales come from that, and the rest is we're rising in organic and organic search and social media, and also direct traffic as well. Our primary marketing models up until now has been this WordPress webinar marathon, which is we used to run this 3 times a year. It's a free webinar training series on WordPress and web technologies. We've gotten huge traffic to this to this thing, about 4,000 or 5,000 opt-ins. We're going to be continuing that, but expanding our marketing to do additional channels for the webinar marathon. So if you want to switch, so basically, current situation, 100% bootstrapped. I'm calling it business by the seat of the pants. I've carried 3-4 roles: product development, marketing, infrastructure, and service delivery, and really haven't only done sort of a half-assed job in each of these categories. So this is now changing because I have people who's assisting me in the other categories. I mean, I'm sort of a technical creative here, and my strongest skill is basically just content development and teaching. And really, if I could just stick to product development and have other people do the marketing, the company would be much better off. We do have lots of we do have raving fans. People love our courses, and the immediate funding need is we're going to need about $100,000 to complete this WP encyclopedia. It's about a 2-man-year effort that I'm looking to devote myself seriously to, and then as I say, we're talking to Wiley about putting this out on a book by the summer of 2013, and it will be the first book in the world that I'm aware of to have a complete video help manual in the back cover DVD. So the WP Encyclopedia Desktop Edition is included in the book as well.
Okay. Do you have another slide, or is this the last?
Yeah, just maybe one more. Yeah, so this is my team at the moment. Me and Christopher are full-time, and George and Pamela are part-time teaching assistants at the moment, and Brian is he's pretty well full-time. He's on an affiliate commission basis, but really, everyone is very excited, and we're all standing by I'm hoping to get everyone on full-time by February, essentially, and yeah.
So you kind of framed this as an investor presentation, so I will put on my investor hat and give you some feedback.
Please.
So this is kind of like a content development project is what you're trying to finance.
Correct.
And that's typically not what professional angel or VC investors in the technology business fund. So you're going to need to think of a financing strategy that's something different. However, so that's one question, and the one observation. And the second observation is that this is as I said, it's an incredibly crowded market where differentiating is not going to be easy. And we have not heard yet a compelling differentiation strategy that is going to really, drive customers or prospects to adopt this solution. So those are two issues that need to be addressed. The third thing that investors look for is, what is the total available market for this business? I haven't seen any discussion of, if I were to put money into this company, what kind of market opportunity are we catering to? How much money are we going to make? Investors don't invest for charity purposes. Investors invest to get return on investment, and I haven't seen any discussion of any of that. Now, the piece that you have here about the book, there is one thing that's happening on the internet in the funding world right now, is that book projects are getting funded by Kickstarter or other crowdfunding resources. Now, 100K may be high. It's not like there aren't 100K type of projects being funded, but possibly 100K would be at the higher end of what can be funded through a Kickstarter campaign or another crowdfunding campaign. There are a whole lot of crowdfunding sites out there. And that may be your best bet at this stage of the game. And the other bet usually for this stage of the game for all entrepreneurs is friends and family investment. So that's my feedback as an investor.
Yeah, I mean, Kickstarter is actually a great opportunity because we could actually offer them the beta of the WP Encyclopedia and promise them the upgrade when it comes out. Do you know of any companies that have successfully raised substantial amounts of money from Kickstarter, or any similar sites that you want?
They've raised substantial amounts of money on Kickstarter. They provide lots of testimonials and case studies on their website.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, that's definitely something to investigate. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you have. I know you have another presentation today, but can I just briefly comment?
Sure.
Yeah, Team Treehouse raised $5 million in second round funding about a year ago to produce a service that is essentially teaching people HTML and CSS, and I honestly have no idea how they did it. So you're talking about crowded marketing and differentiation strategy. No one is really doing what we're doing, exactly as we're doing it. And still there's room for Team Treehouse, who was able to essentially.
That may very well be true. This presentation does not come through. That message does not come through in this presentation, and the whole point of how you're going to buy, and it's obvious you already told us that marketing is not your forte, but think about it. Put an investor hat on. If an investor sees an entrepreneur who doesn't show a compelling path of how he or she is going to acquire customers, where is the investor going to get confidence to put in $5 million into a venture? So my guess is whatever these HTML people did, they presented some unique, differentiated way of marketing. And I haven't looked at that business. I don't know anything about that business. If you want to understand that business, you could ask them to contact me, and I'll be happy to do a case study on them. But as it stands, I don't know that business, and I don't know how they've raised money. But from what you have presented, I don't see, it doesn't make me jump up and write a check for this business, because I don't have any clue how you're going to market this product.
Got it. Okay, so customer acquisition needs better coverage, yeah?
Oof, customer acquisition needs serious coverage. There is no coverage of customer acquisition here.
Got it. Okay,
there's a template for investor presentation. There are certain topics that need to be covered in an investor presentation. You can go do this 1M1M self-assessment. It's a free self-assessment that's on our website. I'll walk you through all that later on in the program after the next presenter is done. You can hang on for a bit and listen to that. But without a full coverage of all the topics that investors are looking for, this is not an investor pitch yet.
Perfect. Okay, got it. Thank you.
Yeah, welcome.
Okay.
All right. Carmen Brown, Girly.
Hi.
Hi.
Good morning, everyone. Sramana, thank you for having me. I'm very excited about presenting today. I am the principal creator of Girly Stuff Inc. I have a background in entertainment product placement. I managed a boutique agency in Chicago for nearly 11 years, placing unique products in major motion pictures, TV series. I started Girly Stuff Inc. around 7-8 years ago. I've been writing for film, TV, and animation for, oh my goodness, maybe 15 years, and I decided to take one of my projects and build it into a brand, into a venture. So this was actually a live action sitcom. Next slide, please. Thank you. The target customer is the unrepresented and rising tween teen Hispanic girl audience, primarily, and then secondly, all tween girls worldwide. The value proposition is the intellectual property, the animated multicultural characters. We live in a world right now, it's not just black and white, it's all ethnicities, and I wanted to definitely build that into my brand. And it's also the art design element via the branded merchandise, and the main character is altruistic, so she has this philanthropic vision. And then the social media with mobile integration, because this is where they live and breathe in this space. Next slide, please. The customer acquisition strategy would definitely, social media, Facebook, Twitter, MySpace, Havo, Tiger Beat, their online advertisement, Scholastic Book Club, which there is the first book written. I wrote the first book, and I published it, and it's on Amazon. There's an ebook, too, and on Barnes & Noble, the website. YVille is a virtual world community with access to over 6 million members, and hopefully one day I'd like to build and develop a virtual community for Girly Stuff Inc., which would give me instant access to off of YVille. and we've had discussions about that, but it's very, very costly. And then Prime PC, it's an arts and crafting online marketing partnership. They have like e-newsletters and access to over 4 million subscribers. I've had conversations with them, and they're interested in targeting this audience because there are a lot of tweeting girls that are crafters. Next slide, please.
What are you selling?
Well, I've identified the products in the branded merchandise, like T-shirt line and a stationery line. Right now, I just have the ebook and the first book. It's
selling a book.
They're capitalized, right? Excuse me.
You're selling a book.
Well, I don't have all. I don't have the capital to develop and manufacture additional branded merchandise.
So that I understand that. I'm just trying to understand what are we selling, because you have this customer acquisition strategy. I don't understand what is the customer acquisition strategy for. So, and there's a whole list of stuff here, all of which costs money to access.
Right,
all of these products cost money.
Exactly. Yeah, you're right. So that's been the issue. That's been the challenge, to get the funding to go to the next level. And that's what I need to do.
You can't even explain what you want to do. How can you get funding? Well, I mean, what worries me about all these presentations is that without explaining why an investor should fund you and what is it that you're trying to do, you're already thinking about raising funding. How are you going to raise funding?
Well, there is an e-commerce platform. Okay. Now, if I was actually going to use my own funds, but a problem came up months ago, over 5 months ago, which kind of stopped my income through work I was doing, and so I wasn't able to do that. So I was going to be able to get the T-shirt started and do some marketing, so I can build on getting customer acquisition, getting an audience, customers, to start generating some revenue. I can build on that.
Why is it worthwhile to sell a T-shirt online and risk your personal savings or personal income to do that? How is that an interesting business?
Well, it's not just, the girls are going to connect to the characters first. And once they connect to the characters, they're going to want to buy the merchandise. It's just how it works, okay? So if I have to...
For that, you're going to have to first have them connect with the characters, which means the only thing that has anything to do with characters right now is your book.
Right. So exactly. So I have to the book. Okay, you just can't put write a book and just put it out there. You have to promote it. So you need money to do that. Correct? How can you get people to buy your book?
So I know how books work.
Okay. So how do you get someone to buy your book without promoting it if they don't know about it?
Did I say you're not supposed to promote your book? Did I say that?
No, I'm asking you. I mean, you said. I mean, I do have a product. Okay, I have an e-book and I have the traditional book. So okay. How do you get someone to buy the book?
What I want to ask you is, is the first thing you're selling, what we are discussing here, this customer acquisition strategy for, is it for the book?
Yeah, well, yeah, okay. For the book, because that's what I have right now. I just have the book.
That's kind of, see, we are hearing this presentation for the first time. We have no clue who you are, what you do, what your products are. So if you are not able to give us the basics with which to strategize for this business, look how much time it has taken us to figure out that what you are trying to sell is your book and your e-book.
Well, no, I'm not. That's the beginning of it. But it's branded merchandise. I said that in the beginning. It's the girly stuff branded merchandise, and that's books, T-shirts, the stationery line. It's stuff. It's girly stuff, branded merchandise. So
how many people have bought this book so far?
maybe a handful, but they don't know about the book. How can they buy the book if there isn't any?
Order of business. I come back to my first order of business is you have to develop a following for the book by promoting the book itself. All this other stuff, merchandise and all, it's only relevant if you can build a following for the book, and very few books actually develop following. So you can't put a cart before the horse. There's no point.
Right, that's true. Yeah, yeah. But the thing is, you still have to have some kind of capital to do that, and I will, and I'll be able to take those steps to move to the next level.
As far as I can see, where you are right now, for the next, 6 to 12 months or 18 months, you better focus on selling your book and developing a following for the book and the characters, familiarity with the characters, and based on whatever capital you can invest in doing that, and follow good promotion tactics to do that, and be done with it. And that's basically your next 12 to 18 month game plan.
Okay, all right.
Without that install base or without that following, the rest of it has no case. There's no basis.
Right. No, you're absolutely right, and that's and actually that was the plan, and that's been the plan. But I've had a lot of false stops and starts, and so I understand exactly what you mean. Yeah, that's true. So I feel that the customer validation is the first book written and published. Do you feel that this is true? I after thinking about the customer validation, which is, like I said, the Girly Stuff Inc. Book is available online through Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and the ebook is available on Amazon.
Armin, the customer validation is people actually buying and reading the book and writing good for it.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Customer validation for a book is people actually buying the book, reading it, liking it, writing reviews for it.
Okay, all right. All right, I see what you're saying. Okay, and I did get, I actually put a page up for Facebook, and girls just started following. It's not, a large quantity, but I said, okay, and it's multicultural, tween girls, so I have to build on that. So everything that I've done, I have to build on.
You need a strategy on how you're going to do this. Listing a bunch of, places that have big following that is not going to help you market this book. Trust me, book marketing is difficult.
Well, not really. I've spoken to a lot of these people, like Scholastic Book Club. I did talk to the editor, and she wants me to send her a copy of the book because I may be able to get into the book club, and that would help out tremendously. So, I mean, that's something that I can do as well.
Okay, well, whatever.
That's fine, please.
I think you're grossly underestimating what it takes to market a book.
Well, it's a lot of work, and I think if you're already famous and they already know about you, I think that sells a lot of books already. And it's not necessarily the content.
Already famous?
I said if you're already famous, if someone already has a following of some sort, and then they have money for marketing dollars, that's going to sell that book.
I'm asking you, are you already famous, and do you already?
Oh no, I'm not famous. I am not famous. No way.
That's one step before the other, one foot before the other.
Right, you're right, right. And okay, yeah, you're right. So that's the challenge. The challenge for me is, how can I generate the revenue without the products for my targeted customers, which you told me to start just building with the book. Need funding to develop the manufacturing.
I go back to the same advice that I gave to Mark.
Exactly.
Books, you go try to raise some money in Kickstarter. If you're desperately in need of money to promote your book, go put up a book project in Kickstarter and try to raise money there.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Other funding sites. There are crowdfunding sites people seem to be willing to donate to book projects, and that may be your best bet.
Right. Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. All right, folks. Here's a segment on 1M1M and what we do. And I will caveat this by saying we don't do book projects. We only do information technology companies and information technology enabled services. So online learning, online education is a part of our program. You know, all these virtual worlds and e-commerce, all this stuff is part of our program, but pure book marketing is not exactly what we do. So I'm just, you know, caveating everything by saying since we had two, you know, book projects in here, although they're not purely book projects, they have other grander ambitions, but I just want to caveat that by saying is you will not find a whole lot of resources for book marketing in 1M1M. Okay, so before we go on, if you're at least finding this useful, please refer other entrepreneurs, other serious entrepreneurs to the program, and I will tell you what the program is. Our mission is to help 1 million entrepreneurs reach $1 million in annual revenue by 2020. And we focus on IT and IT-enabled services, so technology, and I will run you through the different segments of technology that we work on. We have a blog which has been around for a long time and is quite well known in the industry, which has lots of case studies, trend analysis, and nuggets and wisdom from experienced entrepreneurs that you can learn from. That is one of the key resources that we provide that is completely free of charge. We also provide a book series. The Entrepreneur Journeys book series has 4 volumes, and these are available on Amazon and Kindle, and in India and Flipkart, internationally on Amazon and Kindle. And I said I have a lot of experience with book marketing, and because I have done 5 books actually, and this is basically where you see a lot of the beginnings of the 1M1M program come together. The books have been published before 1M1M, the program was launched. So you start seeing the core methodologies of bootstrapping, positioning, and so forth in the book series, but it matures as 1M1M comes together. So the blog is at sramanamitra.com. We also have these strategy roundtables where you can just come and get feedback about your business, your strategy, and so on and so forth. We have these 3 strategy roundtables pretty much every Thursday, except during the holidays or if I'm traveling and so forth. Over 15,000 people have attended these roundtables. We've coached hundreds of entrepreneurs. And beyond that, we have the 1M1M Premium program, which offers extensive methodology guidance. And that is based on a curriculum, which is a combination of video lectures and case studies. We provide a lot of business development, which is introductions to customers, channel partners. And we provide private versions of these kinds of roundtables where we do most of the strategy work for our customers. And these are members-only versions. And we also help with financing. If your project is financeable, then we will help you with financing and investor introductions and so on and so forth. We do see a lot of projects that are just not fundable, or they're not yet fundable, one or the other, in which case we will not introduce you to investors because we don't want you to get rejected by investors, and it doesn't help build our credibility or preserve our credibility with the investors by sending them deals or businesses that are not fundable. We also do a lot of work in the media. We have a lot of clout in the media, and we put that to work on behalf of our entrepreneurs. Now, this is something that I pointed you to, the 1M1M self-assessment. I strongly recommend that you guys take a look at it, especially those of you who are thinking about raising funding. This is an important, important tool that will give you perspective on what is it that investors are looking for. The resources are at 1mby1m.com. If you go to the top right corner, premium program, FAQ, video messages, video FAQs, that's where you're going to find more information about the program itself. What to expect from the premium program explains a lot of that stuff. Our methodology is lean, capital efficient, bootstrap startups. So That's just how we work. We kind of will teach you how to put one foot before the other and make sure that you are able to reach the next milestone, which helps you build credibility and do all the things that you need to do to move forward and build your business. And at the point at which you are fundable, if you are fundable, we will help you raise money as well. And we have companies in the program who have raised money successfully and are doing fine, but we also have many entrepreneurs in the program who are just making straight up revenue progress. You know, moving from 0 to 250K, 250K to 500K, 500K to $1 million. And that's just, you know, that's just the way we like to work. You know, we do not dismiss any entrepreneur whose business is growing slower than what VCs would like, or are working on total available market opportunities that are smaller than what VCs like. VCs like market opportunities that are $500 million, $500 million and above. And you will today in the venture business, you'll see VCs who will often tell you, I only work on ideas that would be a $10 billion idea. Oh well, there aren't that many $10 billion ideas out there. But as a rule, they're looking for very large market opportunities. But that's not necessarily a criteria for 1 million by 1 million. We're perfectly happy to support self-finance businesses that do not have that kind of available market opportunity in front of them, but they will build, let's say, a profitable $5 million business or a profitable $10 million business, which are not acceptable for VCs, but they're perfectly acceptable for us. So here are the curriculum modules that we would have you go through if you were to join the program. The core curriculum has 7 pieces: bootstrapping, positioning, market sizing, customer validation, financing, customer acquisition, and team building. It would take you at least 50 hours to digest all of that. And what we notice is people are working on different pieces of this program at different times when they're working on a specific area. If they're working on customer acquisition, for instance, they are spending more time on the customer acquisition module and learning the elements of customer acquisition and how to build a following, how to, we treat all kinds of social media marketing, topics. We treat all the search engine marketing topics, email marketing, and so on and so forth. So customer acquisition is a very popular part of the curriculum. Market validation, customer validation is a very, very popular area of the program. Positioning is a very popular area of the program. So these are core elements that every entrepreneur needs to master. And we ask you to take that portion of the curriculum really, really seriously if you're trying to learn, do a fast ramp up on entrepreneurship. You don't have time to go spend 2 years in a business school, and in any case, business schools really don't teach you entrepreneurship at this kind of granular level, pragmatic, practical level. So this is for practitioners, practicing entrepreneurs, or people who are planning to start a company to figure out how to put one foot before the other. And remember that, it's block by block, brick by brick, putting one foot before the other. That's how we treat entrepreneurship. We don't work in 30,000 feet levels. I think it's useless to teach you entrepreneurship at a 30,000 feet level. Then we have electives, which are aligned with the different types of businesses we are seeing in the industry right now. Web 3.0 and e-commerce is a very, very popular area. Cloud computing and business solutions is a very popular area. Outsourcing and consulting continues to be a big area. Mobile and social apps, healthcare, IT, online education / educational technologies, and gaming. These are our core business areas where we see most of our activity. The way we deliver the curriculum is a combination of case studies and video lectures. We've done over 150 of these kinds of sessions where we have identified the issues of early stage entrepreneurs, and we've done over 600 case studies of successful entrepreneurs starting 2006. And we've invited these entrepreneurs to come onto our forum and explain how they've been successful, how did they put one foot before the other, and what strategies have they applied to deal with the different challenges that came up. And we have triangulated those two bodies of work. And we've created this curriculum today that is the most efficient curriculum in the market in terms of how to learn pragmatic, practical entrepreneurship from over 600 entrepreneurs. You're not just learning from me, you're learning from over 600 entrepreneurs and their strategies and their learnings. And that's what's very powerful and inspiring about the program. That's pretty much it about the program itself. I'll do a couple of more slides just to explain a few other things, while you can please, you should feel free to start asking your questions in the public chat. And by the way, to use the public chat, please make sure you set your chat settings to send to all participants so that everybody can see your questions and comments. Now, we do have an affiliate program, so if you're someone attending the show today and you're interested in developing entrepreneurship in your geography or in your city or wherever you are, you're welcome to become an affiliate of the program, and we'll be happy to, work with you. And we pay 10% affiliate commission. Reminder about the New Year Challenge. The deadline for applications is December 20th. We'll be awarding 12 scholarships to the 1M1M program, and you're going to need to drum up support to get to the finals. 20 finalists are going to emerge out of this so far. Well, not so far. 20 finalists are going to emerge out of the voting round, which is going to be audience voting. So we are not going to be selecting the finalists. The audience will be selecting the finalists. So you are going to need to collect votes on social media to get to the finals. And then the finals will be held on January 10th and 17th during one of these roundtables. And we're going to have 10 presenters pitch at each of the sessions, and we'll be picking 6 finalists, or 6 winners to the scholarship. So 12 scholarships in total are being contested. And then upcoming free roundtables are, the last one for this year is next week, next Thursday. Then the first one for next year is January 3rd. Then we have the 2 contest finals on January 10th and 17th. And then 24th, 31st are 2 regular roundtables like this one. So I see some questions showing up, and let me start answering those. Let's see. Akashdeep Hawaldar says, are there any modules on creating a following in 1M1M Premium program? Yes, the customer acquisition modules deal with everything, all the social media elements and everything that you need to do customer acquisition. And creating a following is not exactly the word, but the word is customer acquisition. How do you acquire customers? How do you use social media channels to create brand awareness and lead generation? Renette Gordon, is there confidentiality with the information shared on our businesses? We don't talk to anybody about your businesses, but there are no private coaching. There is no private coaching in the 1M1M Premium program. The sessions are exactly like this format, with people, in interactive mode on audio, and other members listening to the calls. So you're going to have a peer group discussion and strategy consulting in that mode. It's a group consulting, group mentoring program. It is not at that price point, $1,000 annual membership fee. We cannot do private one-on-one sessions. However, if you want private one-on-one sessions, you can schedule private one-on-one sessions and you have to pay extra for that. We do offer that, and some people take advantage of that, but we only recommend that after you've used the basic 1M1M Premium program and really used the curriculum and fine-tuned your business and used some of the group material before spending extra money. We are not trying to get you to spend extra money. We want you to be able to use the program as much as possible without spending any extra money beyond the $1,000 annual membership fee for unlimited access. Does that answer your question, Renette? Mark Beneteau, you're asking, the program you mentioned is the self-assessment on your site. The program is not the self-assessment. The program is the 1 million by 1 million premium program that costs a $1,000 annual membership fee to learn everything there is to learn about early stage entrepreneurship in technology and technology-enabled services. That includes online education. The self-assessment is a tool that we offer for entrepreneurs to look at, to use, to assess, calibrate yourself. Renette, what successes have we seen? We have seen tons of successes. We have companies that have crossed $1 million. We've in revenue. We have companies. We have raised money. We have companies who are making great revenue progress. We have companies who have started with nothing and have validated their products and are starting to see early customers. You know, people see success at different stages of the business. The self-assessment is just to calibrate your situation, Mark. You can just, that's a free tool, you can access it and use it. Of course, it does have premium program curriculum modules attached to them, which you will not be able to access until you are part of the premium program. But the basic just the questions themselves, you should be able to access on your own, without having to sign up. Anybody else? Any other questions, comments? Just a second. I think my charger, for instance, has come off the wall, so I'm going to put that back on. All right. Anybody else? Any other questions, comments, concerns? Mark says, regarding premium, is most or all of the life help provided during these calls, or is there more? No, all the life help is, these are not the calls. There are calls inside the premium program, behind the, you know, in the private lounge. So you will only premium members get notifications of those calls. People generally cannot access those calls. The similar format of the calls, but they are members-only calls. Anybody else? Any other questions, concerns? By the way, you can speak with Irina at 1m1m.com if you would like to, you know, if you have any other questions or concerns that you want to be clarified. She's in the room. And she's also offering you a phone number. And her Skype is Irina_Patterson. All right. Anybody else? Any other questions, concerns, comments? There are a lot of people in the room. I don't hear from you, and some of you, I've seen you week after week, but I don't really know what you guys are working on. And some of you are here for the first time, and we don't know what you're working on. You haven't introduced yourselves. All right. But it looks like there is no other comments on public chat, so we will wrap up the session. Irina has a question. Go ahead. Irina is asking, if someone has a business that doesn't have a lot of potential, can you help them to pivot? We do that all the time. You know, we have a very, very concrete validation methodology. We put you through that validation methodology, and if that, you know, if what you're doing does not validate, we will definitely help you work through what you can take from that particular situation and what can you use going forward. Irina, I don't know if you were at the private roundtable yesterday. There was an entrepreneur from Canada whose value proposition to me doesn't seem to have legs, and I basically gave him a strategy of how to pivot, And I think, you know, we'll see how he moves forward, but I didn't think that the business idea that he came to the table with had potential. The specific one, he will need to pivot. So go back and listen to the recording of that session, and that should answer your question. But you've seen this over and over again. We do lots of pivot work. And we use customers very closely to do whatever it is that we do. Akashdeep Haldar says, I'm learning so much already from the free program. Thank you for the effort and energy, Sramana. I hope to join the premium program sometime in February. Akashdeep, I'm sorry, I think you were sending the message privately to me. Sorry, I didn't realize that you were trying to talk to me privately, since I'm kind of monitoring the public chat right now. Renette is saying, I like the focus of your group, I suppose. I'm developing a software productivity product. I intend to get familiar with your organization on YouTube and your website. I expect to join again next week. That's great, Renette, absolutely. And Akashdeep is absolutely right that if you just follow the free program on a weekly basis, you will learn a lot from just you know, hanging out and listening to how we work with entrepreneurs and what kind of feedback we give them, because there are lots of situations that you will encounter in your experience that are similar situations, and it's just, you know, just learning from those helps you understand more about your own situation and extrapolate. And then, of course, if you join the premium program, that learning accelerates many folds. Sushil Bhatia, is asking, do you have a trial period for premium membership? No, we don't. We charge so little, you know, $1,000 annual membership fee for the level of service we provide is so little. We just want you to commit, and that's the only way we are going to commit to you. And if you don't commit to that amount, we are not going to spend any time on you, except you're welcome to use the free program. We only want to work with people who want to work with us. You know, if you're trying to figure out, you know, 1M1M, I suggest you use the resources. There are, you know, numerous recordings of these sessions, these coaching sessions on YouTube. So you can go listen to some of those sessions and see how we work with people. It will give you a very visceral feel for how we do coaching. Anybody else? Any other questions? Yes? No? No? All right, folks, then we'll wrap up for today, and we will see you next week at next Thursday's public roundtable. That would be on December 20th at 8 a.m. Pacific time. And if you want to sign up to actually come and discuss your business with me, please feel free to register on the site and get yourself a slot. Bye-bye, everybody. Thanks a lot for joining.